Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me again today for my little tutorial. I hope you're all well. We've had some lovely weather here in the UK over the last few days, and so we're all feeling a lot happier because we've been able to get out in the sun. Today we're going to be making this lovely little card here. Can you see the shine on that? I'm going to use some pattern papers that are actually going to be retiring at the end of May, and I wanted to showcase them because they really are so beautiful. It's called Bundle of Love. I'm going to show them to you in a minute, and then we're going to make a little panel to go on there using the Painted Harvest stamp set, which just makes a really pretty card. Let me show you the papers. These are 12 by 12 papers, and they come in 3 different designs. So we've got this one with the chevrons on, which is quite a close, dense pattern. We've got this one, which is a much more open pattern. Can you see it's got sort of lines of dots? And this one, which is almost like a kind of leopard print kind of pattern. And these are in gold and very vanilla, so a gold and cream colour. Really, really gorgeous, and a really nice weight for making boxes or 3D projects. But also, if you turn them over, they've got the reverse side of them. They're in pink and blue, which is just beautiful for baby cards. There's blushing pink and soft sky. And each of the patterns on the reverse has either pink or blue. So they really are pretty and really lovely if you're doing projects which show both sides of your papers. I've really loved using them, and I should be sad that they're going. I love the gold and the vanilla, the very vanilla. But my cards today, we're just using a panel of the paper just to make a background for the card, which I think is really nice. So let me show you how to make this card. So you start off with a card blank, and as per usual, I use this size all the time, a lot of the time anyway. My card blank is 21 centimetres by 15 centimetres, and I score at 10.5 centimetres to make a card blank. If you're working in Imperial, your card blank will measure 8.25 by 6 inches, and you'll score at 4 1/8 inches. That's my card blank. My panel of pattern paper then, my DSP, Designer Series paper, which is what we call it in the Stampin' Up world. We then is then half a centimetre or 1/4 inch smaller than our card base. So in centimetres, my DS panel is 14.5 by 10 centimetres, and in inches it's 5 3/4 by 3 7/8 inches. You then need, so we're going to attach that to the card base using a little bit of Tombow. It's a very, very simple little card, this one, but I really like it, and I've made it for a variety of sentiments so that I've got a stash of these to send whenever I need a card to send. I've got one with the right sentiment on, because I make lots of thank you and birthday cards, but then when I need a get well or a thinking of you or a sympathy card, I never seem to have the ones I want. So I've made a whole range of these ones so that I've got a card in my stash that I can use, and the layout of the card, the design of the card, is suitable for all sorts of things, I think. So there's my card blank. That was very easy. Now my panels, I've got 2 little panels here, one in crumb cake, one in very vanilla. The crumb cake one measures 7.5 centimetres square or 3 inches square, and the cream one measures 2 7/8 square or 7 centimetres square. So that's going to go on there like so, but we're going to stamp it first, okay, just in case we make any errors. So I'm using 2 stamp sets today. One is the Painted Harvest. It's a really lovely stamp set which makes these really beautiful sunflowers, although I haven't really used sunflowery colours today, but really lovely. I'm so pleased this stamp set is not retiring, so you will still be able to get this stamp set, but I think the bundle will be retiring. So if you wanted to buy the bundle with the leaf punch, I think you can only get them as a bundle with 10% off until the end of May. Then you'd have to buy them separately. And then the beautiful bouquet, which is one of my go-to sets for lovely sentiments, and I'm going to be using the happy birthday sentiment. Sorry, that's shining, the happy birthday there sentiment. So in order to make my card, I'm going to take 2 stamp pads. I've got Crumb Cake and I've got Pool Party. Both colours are staying in our range, so neither of these are going anywhere. And I have learned to my cost that in order to stamp these sunflowers and get them lined up properly, you start with the centre. I spent so much time trying to start with the petals and not managing to do them effectively. But what I have done on my stamps, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that there's a little green dot on my stamp? Because I've marked the direction that I want this to be in, and then I can line the other stamps up. I've marked the other stamps as well so that I can line them up. So I'm just going to tap my centre, and I've got the dot of my stamp is going to be facing upwards, and I'm going to do one over in this corner here, one going off slightly here, and then one right down here. So I just need 3 sunflowers on here. So that's all the centres that I needed. I'm then going to, and I'm going to just, while I've got my Crumb Cake open, oh no, actually I'm going to put that away because I need to do the sentiment in a minute anyway. So we'll just pop that away for the moment. We'll take our Pool Party and we'll do the petals of the sunflowers. So I'm going to take the smallest one first. There's 2 sizes of this, and if you can see, one's slightly bigger, got slightly wider than the other one. I'm going to take the smallest one, and again my dot on my stamp where I've lined them up and I know which direction to go in, the green dot on my stamp is pointing up at the top, so I know that if I lay that over the centre it should line up really nicely. It doesn't need to be exact, they're designed not to be an exact fit really, but it does make life a lot easier if you do that. So another one there and another one there. This is such a beautiful stamp set to use. It makes the most beautiful flowers with watercolour effects. It's really, really pretty. And now I'm taking the bigger stamp, still with Pool Party, and again lining up. I've got a green dot on this one as well, so I know that if I line that up with the others, that will be placed just perfectly, and that just gives even more of a lovely layered watercolour look to my sunflower. There, and the last one here, line that up, there we go. And I've got a little space at the top there, you can see, where it's where I'm going to put my sentiment today. But the placement doesn't really matter particularly. You could actually stamp a whole sheet of card and then cut it up if you wanted to make lots of cards like me. So I'm going to take my sentiment, if I could find it. What have I done with it? There it is. And my Crumb Cake pad again. And this one says happy birthday. Like I said, it's from the Beautiful Bouquet. So it's a really nice script with a plain capitals happy and a scrolly birthday. And it can overlap some of the sunflowers and that's in Crumb Cake just there. And then just to finish off the stamping, which is the last thing we need to do, it's a very quick little card this. I've put the Crumb Cake away, need it again. There's just a little stamp, if you can see in the stamp set, a little stamp with 5 little dots, and I'm just going to stamp that kind of bit off centre on my sunflowers. So one there, just to give a little bit more texture. There we go. And that's my panel of stamping finished. It's really, really simple. This is a really nice beginner set, this one, because it's so easy to get such effective looks. So then the only thing left to do is to layer the stamped panel onto the Crumb Cake panel, which again I'll do with a little bit of Tombow onto there, trying to keep the edges absolutely even and straight, and then a little bit of Tombow and mount it on my card, and that is your card done. And I've been recording for 9 minutes, and then some of that included me talking about the DSP at the beginning, so I think I've actually made this card in probably 5 or 6 minutes. And I know some of the panels are already cut, but that doesn't take too much time. So you really could produce this card very, very quickly. So I've got another happy birthday card to add to my stash. But as I said to you, I've made lots of different sentiments. I've got a thanks a bunch, which is quite appropriate. I made a with sympathy because you do need those, and this is actually quite a nice design for a sympathy card. And then I've got another couple of happy birthdays. Oh, and a get well soon. The other sentiments I've used here are the teeny tiny sentiments, which again will be retiring. So if you like those sentiments, do get your hands on them before the end of May. And I think that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that card, and I hope you'll have a little go at that. You could change up the backing paper, the DSP here. I quite like the gold effect, but there are other papers that you could use. But just a little panel with 3 sunflowers makes it a really pretty card. Okay, so I hope you like that, and I will see you soon. Bye.